Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Saturday, it's September 24th. And welcome to a brand new weekend. I am having my lovely cup of tea this morning. I'm trying something different. I'm having peppermint tea. And I've read somewhere that it's supposed to awaken your senses. So I am ready to have my senses awakened. How about you? Well, I'm really happy that you're here today. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to go through the news kind of quickly today because I've got a couple of stories I want to share with you. And also, I've got a very big surprise at the end. So I don't want you to leave me here. Stay close. And I've got something to announce at the end, which I think will make you smile. So, first of all, there's been some news out of Washington State in the United States. There has been a shooting at a mall in Burlington, which is about 100 miles north of Seattle. And I know this area really well because we used to have a house on one of the islands off of Anacortes called Friday Harbor. And we used to drive up to Burlington all the time. It's a very quiet little place, but there was a shooting at the Burlington Mall, and 3 people have been killed. The shooter is still on the loose. So it's a very difficult time now for people as they try to, overcome their fear and deal with this situation. So I hope that everything turns out well there. It's just breaking news, so I'm sure by the time you see this, there will be more developments. Now, also in the United States, I wanted to mention that this Yahoo hacking incident really has taken precedence in the news. It's a very big deal, and I hope that if you do have a Yahoo account, you change your password, and also just in general take care with your social media and with your email addresses. 500 million people were affected by this hacking that happened a couple of years ago. But the fallout is still taking place now. Now it's funny. Coincidentally, yesterday I received several emails from women in our community who have been scammed or have had their computers hacked, and it was really a wake up call to say to you, all of you out there, we all want to be trusting and giving, but be careful when people are approaching you with opportunities, and don't open any files that people are sending you as an attachment in your email. Just be careful. And there's lots of good places you can go to get advice on staying safe online. Now, coming up in the United States on Tuesday, the 27th, is the first presidential debate. So are you ready? This is going to be wall-to-wall coverage, but please, by the way, leave your comments below on any of the things that we're talking about here. I love to get your feedback and start conversations. This is your show, so make it real for you. Now, also at the United Nations this week, Mahmoud Abbas, who is the leader of the Palestinian Party, has asked the UN to make this the year 2017 where Israel ends the occupation of what he calls Palestinian land. And of course, this has been a big topic for years. But at the same time, Prime Minister Netanyahu in Israel has asked Mr. Abbas to come and present to the Israeli Congress, which I think is really a good move. And hopefully there'll be some dialogue and diplomacy that will find some balance and perhaps a solution. In India, just to mention, in India, they have just purchased 39 fighter jets from France. Big news in France. It's a huge deal for the company that makes the, what is it called? It's the Rafale fighter plane. And India is updating its very old Air Force planes. So it's, a move for them that makes a statement about their intention of, being modern and up to date in the future. So that's in India. In Japan, just to quickly mention, there was an earthquake yesterday, 6.4 magnitude on the southeast side of Tokyo, just south of Tokyo. So hopefully that's, not caused too much damage. I mean, Japan is used to earthquakes. They get a lot of them, but this is one fairly strong. So hope everyone is well. In Egypt, just quickly to mention that the death toll from the capsized migrant boat has risen now to over 160. It's just so sad because the people that they're now recovering, the bodies they're recovering, are mostly women and young children who were unable to swim from the boat when it capsized. So a very, very sad story. As I mentioned yesterday, 4 people had been arrested for human trafficking, and there's going to be developments along that, but it's just a very, very sad story. Wanted to make sure you were up to speed on that. Now, I've got a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. I don't know whether it's your birthday in this season, but mine's in November, and I always think about transitions during this time, and thinking about how much of a transition turning 60 really is. Some people think it's a huge milestone. I mean, in fact, I have to own up. I was 59 for several years before I could actually admit that I was 60. And really, in many ways, it was why I started 60andMe. But anyway, when you're 60, things change. Most of all, your relationships change. And the questions that we ask ourselves, also shift. But, basically, this is a time to really choose the people in your life, choose the places, and choose the things that you do. So just quickly to remind you, maybe some reflection for the weekend. When you're 60 years old, your relationships are shifting dramatically. If you have children, they're leaving home, they're building their own lives. And, it's really important for you to reassess the role that maybe you've identified yourself with for so many years. So when your children leave home, your friends are moving to new locations themselves, the contextual and sort of accidental friendships that you make when you're younger fall away. And there you are, you're left with an opportunity to make a whole new group of associations and people that think like you do, who care about the things that you do. So friendships shift. The second opportunity you've got in your 60s is to get in the best shape of your life. And really, I think that we talked about this quite a bit, but there's really only 2 things that I think you'll worry about in your 70s. And that is your wallet and your waistline. Not so much losing weight, but your health. And I think that this, in your 60s, the questions that you can start asking yourself are around getting in good shape. Doesn't mean you have to lift weights or do anything dramatic. It's just getting into a routine of yoga, exercise, walking. Some people love to swim. Whatever you do, it's a time to actually look after yourself and make yourself strong, because you'll need that as you get older. Now, the other thing is, where do you see yourself living? It's another third thing to think about. A lot of women in their 60s think it's time to move. Maybe all your life you've wanted to live in a warmer place or a place with different culture. And, you can hesitate, you can think about it carefully, but this is the time to act. If you're going to downsize, this is a great opportunity to downsize your home, to get rid of some of that stuff you've been carrying around and just realign your living situation. The second, and also the fourth and final thing I think to think about is, why am I here? We've written several articles about what's the point of aging. Really, I mean, we as women, we don't have children after 60, most of us. We actually are looking at a time in our life where the things we've attached our value to, our priorities, are, as I said earlier, shifting. So this is a time to ask yourself, why do we age? This is the opportunity, in my opinion, to get wisdom and to grow strong in your inner person, to be able to start confronting, the next stage of your life, the next transition that you're going to have to make, and to be strong about that. So knowing your place, knowing what purpose you serve, and doing the things you love, finding your passions. Those, I think, are some things to think about on a Saturday morning as you're getting up ready to start your day. But I think that those are very important. Now, one more thing I want to talk about, and then the surprise. So this is a story that I read these articles about happiness all the time, and I find them quite amusing, and they make me happy, because finally happiness is being prioritized as something that's important in our lives. And it's quite elusive. I mean, we don't know what it is or how we get it, but we do know that some people and some countries are actually incorporating it into the way they live. Now, there's a country called Burma. No, it's Bhutan. It's Bhutan. I always get Burma and Bhutan mixed up, but Bhutan, who have put happiness above the economic success of the country. They measure their happiness quotient, and if they're not doing well in that area, then they're not succeeding. It's a Buddhist country. It's got principles that I think encourage mindfulness and encourage a perspective that generates joy and happiness. But Bhutan became a model. Now, there are other countries, like, for example, in Scandinavian countries, in Denmark, where they have again, a philosophy of happiness as a part of their life. They call it hygge or hege, and it means more than happiness. It's about community and family and taking care of each other. It's a word that they use to talk about happiness, but it's more than just being joyful or being happy as related to a thing. It's a way of life. So in Bhutan, as I was mentioning, they've got this policy of happiness, and the United Nations actually took the idea of Bhutan and said, well, we'll do a happiness report. We'll see what are the happy countries in this world. And they did a survey, and they used lots of different criteria and examined the happy countries. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to actually look at this, because just as background, in Bhutan, the age life expectancy it increased dramatically. The attendance in school and the academic levels in Bhutan increased. So this is what motivated the UN, I think, to look at it and think, wow, it's not just people feeling good, smiling all the time. It's something that affects the society. So they did this report, and I've got my numbers here, which are kind of interesting, and I'll read them to you. So first of all, the first country in the world, the first country in terms of happiness is Denmark. Remember I was talking about hygge and their whole philosophy of happiness? Well, that is measured as very important. So they're number one. Super happy country. I've been there, and it's true. It's a really, even despite the fact it's kind of cold and dark, they're happy. Number two is Switzerland. Now, this is where I live, so I can see this every day, and I could sit here for 10 minutes telling you why I think that's true, because it's a very unique country. Low population, but it's got elements in its way of living that I can totally see how it meets this criteria. So number two is Switzerland. Now Canada, we have lots of women in our group from Canada. You are number 6 in happiness. Not bad. It's up there, the top numbers, and I think a lot of good stuff is happening in Canada. United States, guess what number you are? You're 13, which is really great considering that there are like 157 countries here that were measured. Britain, United Kingdom, is 23. Lots of work to do there, but still not a bad number. Number 23 of happiness. Maybe some of you would agree or disagree. Leave your comments below. Tell me if you agree with these numbers or if you think your country should be higher. So, of course, we report on Syria every day, so you'd expect it to be fairly low on the happiness quotient, which, because of all the challenges there. But it's true. It's second to bottom, number 156, unhappiest country in the world. But there is a country that's even more unhappy, which is Burundi. And you've got to wonder why, but I'm sure we could figure it out if we looked at the economy, the government, and other elements. So anyway, and basically back to India, they're actually going to be starting a ministry of happiness to see what they can do to maybe mimic the Bhutan model and see whether they can improve happiness in India. So anyway, that's the happiness quotient for the day. Now, today I want to make you happy. This is my mission. I want to do something right now that's going to hopefully make 5 of you very happy. Now, as you know, or may not know, 60andMe has a video series of yoga videos. We decided that this was something that a lot of people in our community wanted. It's really, they're fantastic videos, in my opinion. Our teacher is a lady called Kat Kabira. Kat is honestly remarkable. I've got to meet her a couple of times, and she is just just the most, I don't know, kind and patient and experienced yoga teacher. She's worked with people of all ages, but especially with older people. And she's got a really wonderful manner about her. Her teaching is, it's not that it's slow, but it's thoughtful. And she actually gives lots of options if you're just getting started with gentle yoga. So basically, there are 7 videos and an extra one with a special flow video. But each one actually covers a different part of the body. So, it's joints, your balance, neck and neck. What else is there? Lower back, spinal health. And so each day there's a different focus. And I would love to give 5 of these sets of video DVDs to you, to 5 of you. So here is here we are, Gentle Yoga. And if you see inside, it's got 2 different DVDs, and they cover these 8 classes that I just described. So I would love to give these to 5 of you. And what I'd love you to do is just leave a comment in the section below. You can talk about anything you like. It doesn't have to be about our question of the day, but it can be any topic that we've chatted about in the news today, and we will send you one of our DVD sets. Honestly, I do this yoga and it's amazing. It's really, really good. So that's good. And I'll give you a question that you can answer just in case you need some ideas for feedback. So I would like you to answer, where is your happy place in the world? It could be right at home, but do you have a country that you love that is, whenever you go there, it is your happy place? I would love you to share that, your feelings and your feedback on that. It'd be really great to know, where in the world is your happy place? And we'll choose 5 people randomly and send you these beautiful DVDs of yoga so you can get started on your practice. Okay, so I do hope that you have a fantastic Saturday, everyone. I'm going to go do some walking today by the lake. It's a beautiful day, and I hope you do something out in the world or with friends, with family. Just have a great time and take care of yourself. Pamper yourself today. And don't forget to answer our question, where is your happy place in the world? And good luck to everyone who was interested in receiving this great yoga DVD set. Okay, well, take good care, everyone. I'll see you back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60 and Me. Bye for now.